So I think these are some great questions to make a video about. Can I tell the difference between the branded 5 and the compounded 5? I think this is a tough question to answer, only because I was last on the branded 5 in February and still in the height of my metabolic dysfunction and still getting the medication into my system. So I was still building that up. So the medication had more impact in terms of regulating my dysfunction and controlling my food noise. However, I will say that the compounded 5 had stronger appetite suppression. The appetite suppression for the compounded 5 was akin to that of my first 2 doses of 10 milligrams. However, what I remember is that the food noise control on the branded 5 was better. And I think that's only because I was still at the height of introducing the medication into my system, regulating that dysfunction. So it had more control then. And I also dropped down 2 doses from 10 to 5 when I took the compounded 5. So that comes into play as well. So because I had more medication in my system at that point, and I lowered down 2 doses. I don't think there is a difference in the efficacy of the medication. I just think that because I was coming from such a higher dose and I've been on the medication so long, it had a different impact in terms of regulating my metabolic dysfunction and controlling my food noise. How was the process of administering the needle versus the pen? Obviously, the pen is much easier. It's just a click and you're done. The needle is a little more involved, not overly complicated though. You have to make sure that you wipe the top of the vial with alcohol swab. You have to make sure that you pull the syringe back in order to introduce air into the syringe equal to the amount of medication that you're going to draw out. And that's to make the drawing out of the medication simpler. So if you're going to inject 50 units, which I did, you draw the syringe back 50 units, stick the needle into the vial, press the syringe down in order to introduce the oxygen into the vial, turn the vial upside down, and then slowly draw the medication out until you get to 50 units. And then you have to press out any air bubbles that may be in the syringe before injecting it into your body. You do feel a prick with this. To me, it's not anything egregious. It's just like a little pinch for me. For others, it may be a different situation. But for me, it's just a pinch. Very simple as far as injecting the medication itself. If I had to choose between one or the other, I would definitely choose the pen. Because it's just click and go. Am I still picking up the branded medication? The answer to that is yes. I still have the 2 pens of 10. When I went to get the refill, though, for my 90-day supply, the pharmacies didn't have any 10 in stock. They were out of 10, 12, 5, and 15 all around here. They did have 7.5 in stock, so I reached out to my provider. She submitted a prescription for a 30-day supply of 7.5. So I do have a box of 7.5 on hand. And hopefully in a few weeks, I will be able to fill the 90-day supply of the 10 milligrams that's still sitting at the pharmacy. At least that's my hope. And at some point, I will return back to branded medication. I hope that answers the 3 questions. Thank you for asking. And hope to do more of these videos of answering questions from folks in the community. But I think these were some great questions to respond to through a video.